A decades-old administrative error impacting thousands of voters has just been discovered, and now election officials are turning to the Arizona Supreme Court for answers.
That's right. County Recorder Stephen Richer tells the Mike Broomhead Show they realized last week nearly 100,000 Arizonans who got their driver's licenses before 1996 and applied for a duplicate later on were able to register to vote without providing documented proof of citizenship.
Well, for the last 20 years, the vast majority of voters have satisfied that documented proof of citizenship requirement by simply having their birth certificate on file with the Motor Vehicle Division.
Richer explains the duplicate license allowed some to slip through the cracks after a 1997 law required people applying for a license to show documented proof of citizenship.
That's right. So since October 1st of 1996, Arizonans have had to provide valid proof of citizenship to get a driver's license. So licenses have been accepted as proof of citizenship for voter registration. But if you got your license before that, Secretary of State Adrian Fontes says there is no reason to believe those registered voters are not citizens. He says they all checked a box swearing under penalty of perjury that they are U.S. citizens.
Only Arizona has this, what I think is an unreasonable extra burden on its voters.
Secretary Fontes believing the impacted voters should receive full ballots like they have been for the last 20 years. And County Recorder Stephen Richer believes they should get federal-only ballots. So the two have agreed to let the state Supreme Court decide, and we're hoping to have a decision before the end of the week.
And it also raises questions, Jayme, about voting eligibility. And as you pointed out, in most cases, Arizonans who received their licenses before the 1996 cutoff and registered to vote before the 2004 law went into effect, they're still eligible to cast ballots in state and local races, and that is according to County Recorder Stephen Richer.
So here's the deal. I got my license before 1996.
So did I.
Yeah.
So,
and I am also an active voter. I mean, I vote in every election. So I am going to feel completely ripped off, like I'm not able, because of this, crack or loophole, that I'm not able to vote as is my American right. And
it's obviously, it depends on perspective. It's good that through regular maintenance that this error was discovered.
Yes.
But the timing of it with Election Day 48 days away puts a lot of strain on election officials to get it corrected.
And wasn't yesterday National Register to Vote Day?
It was. I was at an event at ASU yesterday that where there was a voter registration drive underway.
Well, here's what's interesting. I hope this doesn't snowball, because with the election coming up and the deadline to register coming up and, the deadline to get your early ballot or whatever coming up, all these deadlines are coming up because we're coming up on the election. If you have to go back into an MVD office and show proof of citizenship and get a new license, can you imagine the lines?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I mean, it would just be crazy.
And the lawsuits after the election from people who have lost because they're saying not everybody had the opportunity to vote.
That's exactly it. That's the thing that would concern the most is the candidates who lose are going to, you would expect that a lot of them, if not all of them, are going to have concerns about what went on.
Would you be able to certify the election?
Yeah, that's the other question. And so, and again, 48 days is not that long a period of time to get this settled. As you mentioned, the state Supreme Court is supposed to rule on it, we hope, before the end of the week.
Well, I'm just glad to know there are people much smarter than I am that are trying to figure this out right now, because this is the last thing we need right before, especially a presidential election. Although we'd be able to vote on the federal ballot, the state ballot is so important this year as well.
No question.
Big propositions.
Yeah, it's just going to be, it's such an important election, and to have this come up now poses so many challenges, and obviously we'll keep tabs on this for you here on KTAR News.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.